My RLS started, as I said, when I was about 30. And I had it off and on for maybe about another 25 years. It would come and go. I dreaded it. When I felt it was coming on, I dreaded it. But I would get through it. I would get up a lot at night and walk around. I would take a bath. I would take some aspirin. I'd take ibuprofen. I wasn't taking any prescription drugs at that time for it until I was in my 60s. And at that time, that's when I was living in New York, and it had started really progressing. And I saw my first neurologist at Cornell. He was a young guy, and he said, I don't know much about it except that my grandfather had this, and described it to me. And he said, you know, I was able to treat my grandfather with a drug called Requip, and he did very well, and would you be willing to try it? And I said, sure. I went through a period where I tried different medications. I tried some opioids. I tried different dopamine agonists. And I was getting temporary help from everything. But then I read about a doctor, a neurologist at Scripps by the name of Stephen Posada, and he was doing work with RLS patients. So I got in to see him, and he has been very, very, very helpful in terms of trying all different kinds of combinations of things. Unfortunately, when you develop augmentation from a dopamine agonist, you have to eliminate a whole class of drugs that help a lot of people. And that was unfortunately my experience. I couldn't stay with the dopamine agonist. I had to try different things. I encourage people to get to the best neurological specialists that they can get to, and not to be afraid of taking medication. I have had, in the support group in San Diego, I have had people call me who are really suffering, and they will say to me, I'm not taking any drugs. I'm not taking any opioids. I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And what I say to people is, you know, I know you don't want to. None of us want to be taking things like that, but you're probably going to have to. You're probably going to have to take some medication to get some relief. And I just encourage you to keep an open mind and find the best neurologist that you can to help you. This is kind of a journey, and you need someone who can work with you. This is not something that's going to just be cured overnight. You have to find somebody who can work with you and with whom you're comfortable, and you have to be willing to take some drugs that you may not want to take.